Okay, so imagine this. You're scrolling through your feed and bam, there it is. Another picture of your favorite celebrity couple looking so in love on a yacht in the Maldives. But is it really love or just a really good PR stunt?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into celebrity relationships.
Right.
And we have a ton of articles and research that you guys have sent us
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
to try to help us separate the true love stories from the carefully planned PR campaigns.
I think a lot of people are really fascinated by this topic.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because it is really hard to tell what's real and what's fabricated, especially these days.
Right.
You know, it's like the public has always been fascinated with celebrity couples.
Yeah.
But now with social
All
media
right.
and the 24/7 news cycle, it just feels like the pressure to maintain a certain image is just so much more intense now.
Absolutely. And, we are bombarded with these perfect pictures all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, how do we even know how to spot a relationship that's more about PR than, an actual connection?
Right. Well, one thing to think about is the timing of when they make public appearances or declarations of love.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
We always see them making their red carpet debut right before a big movie comes out.
Uh-huh.
Or suddenly they're posting tons of pictures together on Instagram right when a new album drops.
Oh, yeah. Or when they announce that they're suddenly pregnant right before, some big career move.
Exactly. Like, it's almost like clockwork.
Yeah. I remember when insert example of a celebrity couple's strategically timed appearance. I mean, looking back, it felt so orchestrated.
Right. And experts actually call that PR choreography.
Oh, wow.
It's all about,
Okay.
creating a narrative that benefits both people involved.
Okay.
But it goes beyond just appearances, though.
Yeah.
You have to think about all the other things going on.
Okay.
Like these huge coordinated social media blitzes,
Right.
those press releases that are worded perfectly and go out to every outlet at the exact same time.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
And even partnerships with influencers to get the word out.
Oh, so they're like paying influencers to talk about their relationship.
A lot of the time, yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
It's really a whole strategy.
Wow. So it's not just what we see. It's like this whole entire campaign behind it.
Yeah.
It's like they're marketing their relationship like it's a product.
Exactly.
Wow. That's a great way to put it.
And that's really the interesting part.
Okay.
Because all of that PR can totally change how the public sees a couple.
Right.
All those magazine photo shoots and viral TikToks aren't just happening by accident.
Right.
They're totally made to shape what you think about them and ultimately make you a bigger fan.
Wow.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It makes you wonder, though, if true love can even exist with all that scrutiny.
Right.
Like, is it even possible? Or is it all just a cynical game?
Yeah, it makes you wonder, is it all fake?
Right.
Like, can any of these couples actually be in love, or are they all just doing it for the cameras?
That's a really good question. And to be honest, it would be easy to get cynical when you see so many seemingly perfect couples break up under all that pressure.
Right. I mean, we see it all the time.
But there is hope.
Okay, good.
Because research actually shows that some couples are able to have really genuine, lasting relationships,
Wow.
even though they're always in the spotlight.
That's really encouraging.
It is.
So what's their secret?
Like, how do they actually make it work?
Yeah.
Well, it usually comes down to a few key things.
Okay.
Number one, they have to have shared values.
Okay. That makes...
Two, open communication.
Okay.
And this is the most important part. They have to have very strong boundaries.
Oh, yeah. You have to have boundaries in any relationship.
Oh, especially when you're famous.
Right.
Like, think about, insert example of an enduring celebrity couple.
Okay.
They really seem to have figured out a way to be their own people and support each other's careers.
Yeah.
And they're really good about keeping their private life private.
Yeah. They don't let the media in.
Exactly.
And it seems to be working for them.
It is.
It makes me wonder, though,
What's that?
about the impact this all has on us, the fans.
Right.
Like, if we're always seeing these perfect pictures,
Yeah.
does it mess up how we view love and relationships in our own lives?
That is a really good question.
Yeah.
And one that researchers have been looking into a lot lately.
Okay, so what are they finding?
Well, when we're constantly looking at these perfect versions of love that just aren't realistic,
Right.
it can really change our expectations and make us feel bad about our own relationships.
Right, because we're comparing ourselves to something that's not even real.
Exactly. It's like we're being sold a fairy tale.
Yeah.
And then when real life doesn't live up to it,
Right.
we feel disappointed
Ah.
and even disillusioned with love itself.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And research shows that this can have a big impact on everything from our self-esteem to our ability to have healthy, lasting relationships.
Oh, wow. So it's really serious. This is kind of depressing.
I know.
Like, we have to be able to figure out how to deal with all these images and stories without, you know, losing sight of what really matters.
Right.
Like, what can we do to protect ourselves from all this PR and have a better perspective on love?
Well, I think it's time to use those critical thinking skills
Okay, yeah.
and become more careful about how we take in celebrity news.
Okay, so how do we do that?
We need to learn how to spot those PR tactics and ask ourselves what's really going on here.
Okay, I'm ready to become a celebrity relationship detective.
All right.
So what are the clues?
Okay, so first, remember the power of PR.
Okay,
Never take those headlines and social media posts at face value.
right.
You have to dig a little deeper and look for why they might be putting that message out there.
Okay, so think about their motivation.
Right.
Okay,
Also pay attention to when they're making these announcements.
okay.
Does it always seem to be right before a movie or an album comes out?
Oh, so that's like a red flag.
Exactly.
Like, okay, something's up here. Okay.
And look for inconsistencies in their stories.
Okay.
Does what they say match what they do?
Mm-hmm.
Do their actions back up their words?
Right.
And always look at the big picture.
Okay.
Are they trying to promote something?
Right.
Will this relationship help their career in some way?
Okay, so basically be skeptical.
Yeah.
Question everything.
Uh-huh.
I remember that what we see with celebrities is almost never the whole story.
Exactly.
It's like a puzzle we have to figure out.
You got it.
Oh, I love that analogy.
Yeah, you have to find all the pieces to see the full picture.
Right.
And that picture is often way more complicated than it seems.
Right.
And this is a good reminder for us, too. As much as we want to be critical of these relationships, we can't forget that there are real people with real feelings involved.
Oh, that's a good point. It's easy to forget that.
It is, but we can't get so caught up in being a detective that we forget that these are human beings.
Yeah, that's true. That's like a balance. Like, we want to be smart and see through the fake stuff, but we also don't want to be completely cynical about love.
Exactly.
It's tough.
It is.
But I think we can do it.
We can.
So before we go any further, I think we should take a second to gather our thoughts, and then we'll come back and look at some specific examples of celebrity couples who have really mastered this whole PR thing.
Sounds good. Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
So,
I'm ready to put my detective hat on and solve some mysteries.
okay, perfect. Because now that we know a little bit more about these PR tactics,
Yeah.
let's try to use our new skills to look at some real-life examples.
Yes, let's do it.
Like some of those research articles that you sent.
Okay.
We can really use them to analyze these couples.
Okay, so who should we start with?
Okay, well, let's start with insert example of a celebrity couple known for their carefully crafted image.
Okay.
Because they are constantly in the news,
Uh-huh.
and they always seem to have that perfect image of love and happiness. Right. It's like every time I open Instagram, there's another picture of them, on a yacht somewhere looking amazing.
Exactly, and it's easy to get caught up in it.
Yeah, I totally do sometimes.
But let's use what we've learned
Okay.
and see if we can find some of those PR signs.
Okay. Yes, let's break it down.
Okay, so the first thing is timing.
Okay.
Remember that article you sent about how they release information strategically?
Yeah.
Well, if you look closely at their big announcements,
Okay.
like when they got engaged,
Mm-hmm.
or their wedding, or even the birth of their child,
Okay.
it always seemed to be right around the same time as some big career event for one of them.
Oh, yeah. Their engagement was announced like a week before her big movie came out.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that.
It's definitely not a coincidence.
No. It's all about getting the most attention for both of them
Exactly.
and using the relationship to get people excited about their projects.
Right.
Wow, it's all starting to make so much more sense.
And if you look at their social media,
It's like every post is planned out.
uh-huh.
They're always wearing matching clothes or promoting each other's work.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's too perfect.
Right, like no couple is that perfect.
Exactly. They're creating this brand that they can sell to their fans.
Okay.
Like they're selling the idea of their perfect life and perfect love.
Yeah, and fans buy into it because we all want that fairy tale.
That's right.
So does that mean their love is fake?
It's hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe they do care about each other.
Yeah.
But it's also a business for them.
Yeah.
It's a partnership that helps their careers.
Oh, so it's like a business deal.
Pretty much.
That's kind of sad.
I know it is.
But it's true.
It is.
I guess that's why it's so important for us to try to figure out what's real and what's just for the cameras.
Exactly. We have to use our brains and not just take everything at face value.
Right. We can't believe everything we see.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's look at another couple.
Okay.
What about insert example of a celebrity couple who has faced public scrutiny?
Okay. Yeah, they're interesting.
Yeah, because they haven't been afraid to share their problems.
Right.
Like they've had a lot of drama
Mm-hmm.
with cheating rumors and fighting in public.
Right, and they haven't been shy about talking about it.
Yeah, they've even said that they're going to therapy.
Exactly. They're showing us the messy parts of love and relationships.
Yeah, which is refreshing because it feels more relatable.
Right. We all go through hard times, and it makes them seem more real.
Yeah, like they're not trying to pretend they're perfect.
Right.
So is that a strategy or are they just being themselves?
It's tough to say.
Yeah.
But even when they're being open about their problems, they still seem to be in control of the narrative.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, they're choosing what to share and how to share it.
Okay.
And they push back against the media when they feel like it's too much.
Oh, so they're setting boundaries.
Exactly.
So even though they're letting us see some of their struggles,
Yeah.
they're still being careful about how they present themselves.
Exactly. They're showing that you can be real and vulnerable, but still protect yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think that's something we can all learn from.
Totally.
No matter how much you share,
Yeah,
you always have the right to set boundaries.
absolutely. So, okay, these examples are really interesting,
They are.
but is there any way to know for sure if a celebrity couple is really in love?
I mean, is there some secret formula we can use? I wish there was.
Yeah.
But love is complicated,
Yeah,
and it's different for everyone.
that's true.
But there are some things we can look for that might show us a deeper connection.
Okay, give me the secrets.
Okay, well, first, pay attention to how they act over time.
Oh.
Do they seem happy together, even when they're not on camera?
Okay, so look for those genuine moments.
Right.
Not just the staged photo shoots.
Exactly.
Okay.
And think about their interests and values.
Okay.
Do they have things in common outside of their careers?
Oh, that's a good point.
And most importantly, do they have boundaries? Do they protect their personal life and their time together?
Okay, so if they're always looking for attention from the public,
Yeah.
that's probably a bad sign.
Probably.
But if they value their privacy, that means they're probably more serious about the relationship.
Exactly.
Wow, this is really making me think differently about all these couples.
Good. That's the goal.
Yeah.
It's all about learning to see through the illusion.
Right.
And trusting your gut.
Yeah. Okay, so trust my instincts.
Yeah. Do they seem truly happy?
Oh,
Do you believe in their love story?
that's a good question.
It is.
Because sometimes I do get caught up in it.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah, and then I'm disappointed when they break up.
But now you have the tools to be more careful.
Yeah, I feel like I'm becoming a relationship detective.
You are.
I love it.
And the best part is, you can use these skills in every part of your life.
Oh yeah, not just with celebrities.
Right.
This is so interesting.
I told you.
Yeah, and it makes me realize that we all need to be more aware of how PR and media are trying to manipulate us.
Exactly.
Not just with celebrities, but with everything.
Right, like with politics and advertising, it's everywhere.
It is.
So the more we can question things and look for the truth,
Yeah.
the better off we'll be.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Good.
This has been so eye-opening.
I'm glad.
Like, I feel like I have a whole new way of thinking about these relationships.
It's great to hear.
And now I want to know more about how this impacts the entertainment industry itself.
Perfect. Well, let's take a break. And
Okay.
when we come back, we'll talk about how these PR stunts are changing the types of stories we see on screen.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we've been talking about all the PR and the, kind of tricky stuff going on behind the scenes with these celebrity couples.
Right. It's like this whole other world.
And how they use it to kind of shape how we see them and, how it can affect our own relationships and expectations and all that.
Exactly.
But I'm curious about the bigger picture now.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, how does this focus on PR stunts?
Mm-hmm.
How does it actually affect the entertainment industry as a whole?
Right. Well, think about it this way. When studios see that these fake relationships get people talking and make headlines and, ultimately make them a lot of money, they're going to want to invest in more projects that do the same thing.
Oh, so it's like a cycle.
Yeah.
Like, the more we buy into it, the more they're going to give it to us.
Exactly. And that's when it starts to get a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
Because when everything becomes about the show
Right.
and not about real connection,
Yeah.
it can make everything feel fake.
Right.
And the audience starts to want something more.
Yeah. Like, I feel like we're kind of getting numb to all the big gestures and the declarations of love.
Right.
Because we know it's not real.
Yeah, we're just looking for those little moments that seem genuine.
Exactly.
But they're so hard to find.
They are so, how do we break this cycle?
Like, how do we get back to authenticity in Hollywood?
Yeah, that's a good question. It feels kind of impossible,
It does.
but I think we have more power than we realize.
Okay.
As viewers, our choices matter.
Absolutely.
Like what we watch,
Mm-hmm.
what we talk about on social media,
Yeah.
the conversations we have,
Right.
all of that sends a message.
It does.
So if we want to see more real stories, we need to support the projects that show us that.
Yes. And be vocal about what we like and don't like.
Yeah, we have to speak up.
We do.
Okay, so be conscious consumers.
Yes.
Be picky about what we watch
Mm-hmm.
and think critically about everything.
Got it.
We can't just let Hollywood tell us what to think.
Yep.
We have to be in control.
Exactly.
This has been amazing.
It has.
I feel like I have a whole new perspective.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway is don't be afraid to question everything. Look beyond what you see on the surface and search for the truth.
That's so important
It is.
because the truth is out there.
Yeah, somewhere.
To somewhere.
And most importantly, trust your gut.
Yes.
You have the power to decide what you believe.
And what kind of world you want to create.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks for listening.